Ashok Leyland, Koi Manzil Dur Nahi, an apt tagline for the successful journey of Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland is an international mobility company that designs, builds, and markets commercial vehicles, including specialized defense mobility solutions, combining a passion for engineering with integrity in its products and practices. With the largest fleet of logistic vehicles deployed in the Indian Army and significant partnership with the Indian Armed Forces, Ashok Leyland Vehicles for Defense and Special Application helps keep our borders secure. It is with immense pride and utmost humility we wish to inform you that Ashok Leyland is entering into its 75th year of excellence in the automotive sector and continuing with our journey, serve those who serve the nation. Over the past 5 decades, the bond between the Indian Army and Ashok Leyland has only grown from strength to strength. The seeds for this relationship of substance with the Indian Army was sown in the 1970s with the supply of Hippo, a vehicle which is specially configured to meet the operational requirements of the Indian Army. In the 1980s, Ashok Leyland went on to repowering the Shaktiman trucks that were in service with the Indian Army. This followed our association and strong bond with the build and supplies of the iconic Stallion 4x4 vehicles for troop and logistic carriers in 1994. Since then, our esteemed Stallion 4x4 vehicles have become the trusted workhorse of the Indian Army. The Kargil War will always be remembered very fondly by the Ashok Leyland defense family. During the Kargil War, Ashok Leyland was approached by the Indian Army for supplies of Stallion vehicles to meet the critical operational requirements in the northern borders. Lieutenant General T.A. Dikuna, PVSM ADC, and the then DGOS personally monitored delivery of about 4,000 Stallion vehicles in a record time. Ashok Leyland feels it a matter of great honor that we could serve the armed forces of this great nation. Our Stallion Drive, Manzil ka Safar, is a tribute to Ashok Leyland's iconic Stallion range of vehicles and its association with the Indian Armed Forces. The Stallion Drive was flagged off on Kargil Vijay Divas from the southernmost tip of India, Kanyakumari, by Honorary Captain Yogendra Singh Yadav, Paramveer Chakra, a Kargil war hero. The other day when I started my journey from Kanyakumari after our 3 Stallion vehicles left for their journey to Leh, joy filled my heart when on my way I saw these vehicles heading proudly towards their destination, Leh. What a wonderful feeling it was once to see these vehicles once again. And then I said to myself, yes, koi manzil dur nahi. Soon these vehicles will reach Leh, traversing through the diverse terrains, challenging mountain passes and breathtaking landscapes. This journey will cover a total of 4,000 kilometers and represent the endurance, power and reliability that have been synonymous with Ashok Leyland vehicles. The supreme sacrifices of our brave hearts, GCOs and soldiers to safeguard and honor the integrity of our nation will be made public en route this journey to the Indian diaspora. As these vehicles will move from city to city and state to state, before culminating their journey in the breathtaking landscape of Leh. I would now like to call upon stage Mr. Amandeep Singh, President Defence Business, to please welcome our Honourable Guest of Honour, Lieutenant General Karanveer Brar, AVSM General Officer Commanding Dakshin Bharat Area. As has the tradition been at Ashok Leyland, we commence every auspicious occasion with a lamp lighting. I will now request Lieutenant General K.S. Brar, Dr. N. Sarvanan, Mr. Amandeep Singh, Mr. Rajesh R. and Colonel Rajneesh Kakkar to please join us on stage for the lamp lighting. We will now be playing a short video to show everyone the journey that has started from Kanyakumari till Chennai. would now request Mr. Amandeep Singh, President Defence, LCV International Operations and Power Solutions Business, to please come up on stage and say a few words.
Lieutenant General Karanveer Singh Barar, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, General Commanding Officer, Dakshin Bharat Area, veterans, Veer Naris, colleagues, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to this first stop of the Manzil ka Safar, which started on the Kargil Vijay Divas from Kanyakumari. A journey, a Safar to commemorate 75 years of Ashok Leyland, but more so to celebrate the relationship that Ashok Leyland has had with Indian Armed Forces, and to thank all the Jawans, officers, veterans, Veer Naris of the Indian Armed Forces who have helped secure our borders all these years, so that companies like Ashok Leyland and the economy of India can progress. Ashok Leyland was formed just 1 year after India gained independence. So in a way, we have been a part of this nation building, this self-reliance which has happened. And as they say, if the roads are the arteries of a nation, then commercial vehicles are the blood that flows through it, carrying the goods and people across from one region to another. And we have been proud that we have done our part in these 75 years to reduce dependence on imports and develop, design vehicles right here in India. At the place that we are sitting here today. Our relation with defense, as Namrata pointed out, started more than 40 years back, but it really came into its own with the launch of our Stallion vehicles in 1990s, and we really started delivering it in large numbers post the Kargil war, where it proved to be so successful. We have letters and we have citations. We are so proud of them from Indian Army, praising on the role that Stallion vehicle plays in that operation and subsequent operations, any operations that Indian Army has conducted, because these vehicles with more than 70,000 operating, and I can tell you anywhere across the world, one single model for logistic armed vehicles with the Army, this is the highest selling vehicles. And not only India, we've then sold it more than 20 countries across the world in UN missions. So thank the Indian Army for the faith that they have shown on us. And if you see Stallion today, while the name remains the same, the DNA of the reliability remains the same, but we've made changes over these years to keep pace with the change in technology, with the comfort, with the safety norms, and starting with Mark 0. We are now Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. Today we are delivering Mark 4 vehicles to Indian Army. So we've kept pace with the technology, but keep the name same, and as while we call it Stallion in the Army circles, they fondly call it ALS. And here I would also like to acknowledge the contribution of Vehicle Factory Jabalpur in this journey that we have taken, because all the kits that we have supplied to them, the vehicles were assembled in Vehicle Factory Jabalpur. So I would really like to cite that and a thank you to Vehicle Factory Jabalpur on being a partner with us. We've not stopped at Stallion. Ever since the market opened for defense vehicles, and Indian government wanted more Indian vehicles, a lot of imports of vehicles were put on a negative list. We have gone ahead and developed several platforms now, gun towing vehicles, missile carriers. We are now also making bulletproof vehicles, which are being used today in large numbers for internal security in Jammu and Kashmir, in various stations of Air Force. So we have tried to do our bit. Obviously, as during the launch or the flag off from Kanyakumari, Honorary Captain Yadav narrated his Paramveer Chakra he got for in the Kargil war, narrated his experiences and all the veterans and officers who are sitting there today. Obviously, we can't match the sacrifices put by you, but we want to, and we have done our bit, and we are so proud in securing the nation that we have done our bit. And defense is not just a business for us. It gives us so much passion. It gives us so much pride. I look after other businesses also, right? But the kind of response, the kind of the efforts that I see our people, whether it be in product development, in sourcing, in manufacturing, putting in for defense vehicles, it's completely different. It makes us so much proud, and that we are able to do this with our armed forces, who've done so much, as I said, to keep the wheels of these wheels of the nation and then also Ashok Leyland going. So without taking much more time now, all I would say is once again, thank you so much for being here today. Sir, we are so honored and privileged to have you here with us at a place where all the vehicles that I mentioned have been designed and developed right here in Veli-Velchavadi, and we're doing all sorts of defense specific applications that are there, whether it be centralized tire inflation system or run flat tires or self recovery winches, cranes, integrating our vehicles with cranes. We are doing it all here, and let's celebrate this journey. Let's keep this journey going. This will go to Jabalpur now and then go up to Leh, where the journey will end on 25th of August, and then come back here in Chennai on 7th of September when that's the day when we enter our 75th year. So I thank once again all the veterans, Veer Naris, General Barad for being here today, and to all my colleagues, and let's march towards the 100 years of India and towards 100 years of Ashok Leyland. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for taking us through the wonderful journey of Ashok Leyland. I would now request Dr. N. Sarvanan, Chief Technology Officer, to please say a few words.
Lieutenant General Brar, ABSM, General Officer Commanding Dakshin Bharat Area. My dear war veterans, their leaders, my dear friends, colleagues, it is an emotional day for me. We develop products for every application, but if you ask me what is dear to you, the discerning answer would be for defense purposes. No doubt about it. If you ask my people, what do you design defense products with, they will say with the heart. Commercial vehicles with the brain. Yeah. You have to make money in commercial vehicles. You have to save lives in defense vehicles. And that's a fundamental difference. And it is that difference you will see in the approach that Amandi talked about. Things get done with much more passion, much more, I would say, speed, because ultimately, sooner they have a product, the better the product is, the better it is for the nation. So therefore, for me, to be honest, the first time I'm meeting a lot of people associated with the defense sector. Normally, opportunity to meet them is less. So I want to thank you personally for being here. Wanted to assure you that whatever we do here is with passion. Whatever we do here is for whatever it takes for us to serve the nation. That's I was looking at and saying, what are the products we make? I think it started out with the stallion. Then I asked somebody, give me a whole list. And this goes on and on. I have a 2-page list of products we make for the Indian Armed Forces. I think it started out with this talent, and that is still our baby, proudest baby, I would say. We come a long way, and we hope to keep the association up for a long, long time. And I want to once again thank you all for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And it was very rightly said, we design defense products with our heart. So I would now like to call upon Colonel Rajneesh Kakkar to please introduce our guest of honor.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a very exciting and wonderful day for all of us at Ashok Leyland. Lieutenant General Karnveer Singh Barar, Ati Vishal Seva Medal, General Officer Commanding Dakshin Bharat Area. He is an alumnus of National Defence Academy, Kharakwaskla, Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, and he was commissioned in the Indian Army in 68 Armored Regiment in June 1986. He has an illustrious career which is spanning over 4 decades now, and he commanded and raised an operational armored regiment as part of an independent armored brigade, and that regiment served both in the holding corps and the strike corps. The holding corps is the corps that does the defense, the strike corps is the one that goes across the border. So that is his capabilities and that is what he was selected for. He has commanded an independent armored brigade in Jammu and Kashmir. I think 3 Indian armored brigades, if I am right. He commanded a sector in the United Nations mission in South Sudan, and he was a GOC of an infantry division in the Western Theatre, in the Western Command, during Operation Zafran. The General Officer has a very rich and a very diverse experience. And I can say it from my heart because I have been associated with him for almost 36, 37 years today. He has tenanted various staff and instructional appointments. He was instructed at Armored Corps Lieutenant School, and I've had a privilege of serving with him at that point in time. We both were instructors together. Very sharp, very brilliant officer, very unassuming. I've seen him from those days. He was Brigade Major of an Assam Rifle sector in Manipur. He was General Staff Officer in Financial Planning Directorate in the Army Headquarters. The list goes on. He was additional military advisor to the Deputy Chief of Army Staff (P&S) at that point in time in Army Headquarters. He was Colonel General Staff, Armor and Directing Staff at Army War College, Mau. He was Brigade Major. He was Deputy Commander of an Armored Brigade. He was Deputy Inspector General of Assam Rifles in Nagaland. Deputy Director General Equipment in Director General Net Forces. Then he was the Major General Staff of Southern Command, Pune. MGGS of a command means the officer has to be top of the bracket. Only then the person is posted as MGGS. From there he came as Director General Armored Corps at Army Headquarters, and from there he has been posted as General Officer Commanding Dakshin Bharat Area. When I talk about the courses General Barar has done, almost all courses he has taught. He is very rarely seen a second standing in any of the courses. Young Officers course, Tank Technology course, Advanced Data Processing System course. He is a computer wizard, Higher Air Command course. So you can see what kind of a caliber and stature this General Officer has got. And today, sir, it's an honor that you are with us. He did his Defence Services Staff College from Wellington, and he has about 2 master's philosophies, and he's a very keen writer, a reader, and I think he's written a thesis book prize. We got a thesis book prize also in one of the courses there. He was part of the team when the T-72 regiments were positioned in Leh in these early years of career in 1987. He has been part of the Indo-Bangladesh seminar on UN peacekeeping at Dhaka in 2016. He was part of the core team of the Army Design Bureau, which we know of today, in 2016 at that point in time. He was part of the emergency procurement cell at Army headquarters. Means the kind of career, the checkered career the general officer has got, the list goes on and goes on and goes on. He was also instrumental in initiating numerous projects in liberating Make in India, defense capability building, to include light tanks, swarm drones, and other niche technical projects. When he was the Deputy Director General Equipment at the Mechanized Forces Directorate. I used to interact a lot with him. We used to discuss a lot of things, and he used to give a lot of guidance at that point in time, that what the Indian industry should be doing and what the Indian Army is looking at. And he would also seek advice from the industry about our capabilities, what we can do. The general officer is happily married. He has got a wonderful wife, a wonderful son, and a wonderful daughter. He is a keen golfer, a tracker, a very keen racket player. So you can imagine what kind of a profile and what kind of an aura and what kind of a charismatic personality this general officer has got. I think it's an honor for us that General Barar has taken out time to be with us on this momentous occasion. Thank you very much, sir. It's a great honor and we are privileged.
I would now request Lieutenant General Karanveer Singh Brar, AVSM, General Officer Commanding of Dakshin Bharat Area, to please come up on stage and say a few words.
Mr. Amandeep Singh, Head of Business, Dr. Savanand, CTO, Mr. Rajesh, Head of International, and my friend Kaka. Kaka, thank you for your very kind words, they were flattered. Veterans and Beenaris, Jain to you and to the staff of Ashok Leyland. Firstly, it is an honor that you thought it appropriate to invite me to your landmark event of your association with the Indian Armed Forces. So thank you for that. And I can see the passion by which you associate with the Indian Army. And we in the Indian Army also recognize ourselves when we were kids. In fact, our father was also in the army, so we had that 5 ton and 1 ton. So now, the current generation identifies Indian Army with the stallion. So, that has got branded with Indian Army. So that means stallion means Indian Army. So that is the path which I think Ashok Leyland has led, and all the products which you are giving to the Indian Army, which is actually doing the mobility business. I also want to thank you for honoring our veterans and the way you have also associated yourself by doing this exercise. On capability building and defense, I think you are better judge, but since in the introduction he did mention we were the ones who initiated Army Design Bureau, and there are a lot of projects which I personally have initiated, as like he was highlighted. There's a lot of scope, I feel, within India, but the guidance of this thing from Army sometimes was not forthcoming, but things are changing now. And there are people who can really, do wonders. In fact, you just mentioned VFJ. Yesterday, the head of VFJ spoke to me, and in fact, the new one, Mr. Bhola, he is going there and has already taken over, I think. So he was, in fact, asking me that how can we, improve VFJ into other fields. So maybe it's a suggestion to Ashok Leyland also. I think yours is a very, very old company with such rich R&D. So apart from your product line, there are, I think, scope in which you can really venture into something which Colonel Kakkad will also agree, that engines of tanks, of higher horsepower engines or transmissions for tanks, because these are the two products which has, there are few companies in the world which are having monopoly. This is MTU and Rank and Cummins. So if you are able to venture into this, at least start, and some other things which we may discuss during the course of our interaction today. So definitely Ashok Leyland has done wonders to help Indian Army achieve its goals, and because whenever we commanded, we had at least, I had 37 stallions under me when I was a CO, and as you grow, a very reliable vehicle, generally not faltering anywhere. So that much is, and in fact I have a small story. I think honeysuckle also made by Ashok Leyland, so I was in a UN mission. So Indian Army was struggling to find honeysuckle, but that suddenly I saw honeysuckle which looked familiar. That was by Sri Lankan defense, that UN mission. So I said, where did you get it? Both of you got it from Chennai. So, our procurement process is such that Indian Army doesn't know what to do, whereas Sri Lanka and other people are buying your products. So that was as far as the other things were concerned. So thank you so much for inviting me, but I'm not here only as a, as a GOC. Of course, that is my mandate, which I am there. But because of the experience and because of the mandate now given, there's a kind of a defined mandate to me by Army Headquarters, even the Army Commander, that we have to help and assist the defense capability building in this sector. And there was in fact, I know some of you were present, there was a Tea and Defense Corridor meeting by the Tea and Defense Minister, in which I was also part of it. I know somebody from Ashok Leyland was there, I don't know who exactly. So, Tea and Defense Corridor, whether you want to create, whether your linkages with HVF, which are required, or whether your linkage with R&D, DRDO is required, or whether your linkage with BFJ is required. So, this whole ecosystem needs to be integrated. And definitely, everything of defense capability building is in South India. The R&D is there, manufacturing is there, the academic. Again, I am also associating with IIT Madras also, because there are a number of startups. So I am interacting with them, trying to tell them what are the use cases in which these startups can benefit the defense forces. So definitely I would be very happy to associate, because what I am doing would be doing for the country as you are doing. So thank you once again, and I am sure your stallions will reach Leh, but you should reach even higher, go towards Neoma and Gutse, where they are actually flying. So maybe Leh is the landmark final event in 14 Core. Yes. So thank you so much for inviting, and thanks for everything.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words and for sharing your experience with us. I will now request Mr. Amandeep Singh, Dr. N. Sarvanan, and Colonel Rajneesh Kakkar to please come up on stage and felicitate Lieutenant General Raj.
So, good photo, sir. What good photo? Thank you, sir.
As we take pride in serving those who serve the nation, on the occasion of the 75th year of Ashok Leyland, we wish to thank all those who have been an integral part of our journey through a drive with our stallions, the workhorse of the Indian Army, from Kanyakumari to Leh. I request all guests to please stand up for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल